Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Nina. Thanks so much for joining. We're going to focus on the space right underneath our navel, the SACRAL Chakra, home of creativity and joyfulness. Let's start our practice in a seat on our heels, svadhisthana. Take a moment to settle, maybe to close the eyes when it's your first time today, just to connect into that under belly space. Take a rooted, grounded inhale and connect all the way down into your low belly, into your sacral chakra, home of joyfulness, joy, of intuition, and simply of creativity. So if you wish today to express yourself differently, just in any way that works for your physical body, to regain a bit of that joyful and lightness around yourself, take it as it comes, right? Good. Add on another inhale all the way and then clasp your hands. Maybe open your eyes. Start to reach your arms all the way up. And start to tilt your hips a bit anteriorly all the way into a little back bend. And exhale everything out through your nose or mouth, all the way rounding and hugging pubic bone toward your navel. Inhaling again. Little sound of ujjayi, ocean sound of breath. Extend and again get a little spacious and light. Exhale everything out, curling your spine round. Inhale one more time, reach and lift. Finding that healthy sensation along your emotions today, along the sensuality, all the way as you exhale, root yourself down into your underbelly. Take or cup the hands around your knees and continue. Inhale, open up into your throat. Exhale, wrap your spine round, curl chin into your chest. Again, inhale, open up the space around your front line, and exhale, everything pulls in into that sacred space underneath your navel. As you breathe in, open up the chest, the ribs, grab your hands behind your back and just reach the torso open. A lot of it just allowing for that heart to take in whatever comes up during your practice today. Good, settle down the hands, find a cat and cow movement for a couple of breaths, just rinsing the spine, mainly focusing on that underbelly space, hugging it in. And again, inhaling, opening everything, opening toward the center. Again, pulling it in. Find that life sensation into your movements. Don't attach to what you should do or what you have to do, but just try to move your body creative and free from all limitations. Good. And then you start to slide forward toward a little bit of Cobra, and you exhale yourself far back. Deep and grounded exhale, letting the head rest as your body takes over into those nice and free movements. And again, sometimes we're super serious about our practice, which is fine sometimes, but you also want to find some joy and fun around it. So allow for your hips, pelvis to move, to melt down. And again, tuck your toes under, all the way curling back. Find an all-four position. Lift the left leg high and back. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, squeeze that left low belly in toward your head. Inhaling again, all the way, raise and lift, pointing the toes. Exhale, curl yourself in, pull the knee toward your chest. Inhale, far back, open up, allow for your low left hip to draw in, stimulating a bit of those sexual organs. And as you reach the left side, open, start to curl into the left hip. So again, you can keep the eyes closed. Just fully start to expand and move. The rest of the body stays pretty stable, just supporting the expression of that left leg. And you switch the movement or the curl, still the same side, opening, closing. Try to go slow, really slow, and more into sensations and feeling. And breathing. Good. As you exhale, settle the knee back down, switch the sides. Inhale, lift the right leg up, open up, peel it. Exhale, all the way hugging in it, feeling it. Inhale again, raise it back up in your own time, opening, curling, and kind of stimulating as you hug in. Full breath in, compressing that right low belly space. Again, maybe you have a creative form of your practice here, so you go for it. As you inhale, raise that right leg sideways, keep the elbows straight. Often we try to compensate somehow, but just try to dedicate that practice to that low belly, low back space. Good, lift the knee a bit higher, last one. And then switch all the way, curl toward the opposite side. Big openness, sensation through the inner thigh, sensation through the outer leg, hip. Settle down the knee. Take a full inhale. Take a full exhale. Ground yourself into your downward facing dog. Here, take a big breath in and try to find stillness for a moment. And a rooted awareness, quality of home and just that creative little movement within that maybe no one gets to see, but you feel where it comes from. And you root that trust and that little spark of joy right down into your space underneath your navel. Then allow your belly to fully fill with your inhale and to fully drop back as you exhale. Good. Head soft inhale 2 more times. You can support a bit by rounding your low back, pulling navel in, almost like a little cat and cow movement. Then dropping all the way, kind of scooping your hips far back and out. And again, pull the navel back in, rooting the underbelly. And again, releasing and scooping the hip back out. Good. From here, look forward between your hands. Step right foot between your hands. And just turn toward the left side of your mat. Make sure your both feet are rooted. And you start to just sink into your inner thighs, moving pelvis from side to side. Try to keep your torso pretty long, and then you exhale, bow deeply inward. Inhaling moves you back, or the inhale moves you back toward the opposite side, dropping. And again, inhale, work more intuitive and all the way into your expression of it, keeping the breath long and rooted and grounded into the lower part of your body. Everything below your navel stable. Good. Add on one more. Maybe this time you start to lift the toes up into towards space, grounding your pelvis toward the earth. All the way drawing your toes toward you so you keep your knee protected. And as you exhale, with or without the use of your hands, you move from side in toward your left straighter leg. Even here, Skandasana, toes a bit active, easing into your midline. And maybe one more time, finding a creative transition and a bit of rooted quality as you ground. Good. Letting your right arm slide up. Eventually, take a full raise and lift. Curl and draw the torso open. Full breath in and straight down into your low belly, low pelvis. And exhale one more time toward the opposite side. Draw the energy from your legs all the way up and toward that open left leg, maybe in toward opening the chest, the heart, into the space, the unknown, what is around us all the time. Exhale yourself back into your midline. Now bend the knees quite deeply, scoop your hips far out and allow for your head to drop forward. Hands can connect underneath your knees, on your calf or on your heels, and then drop the head all the way, gently extend the legs. Take a moment here, grounding. With your inhale, bend the knees, open up the chest, and really stick your bum back out and open up, almost like a little bit of goddess pose. As you exhale, drop forward, fold. Inhale, if you're too wide, walk your feet a bit closer in. Opening up chest, keeping a bit of extending or extension of the spine. Exhale, round your spine, drop the head heavy, relax your neck. Then it's less pulling or doing or working. It's more feeling and maybe closing the eyes, easing into it. And exhale one more time, forward fold. All the way, strong legs, strong sensation, but easy around your breath. Next time, walk your hands underneath your heart. Walk your feet closer in, toes turning out, heel right underneath your knees. You're going to lift your hands onto your legs. And then as you exhale, bend your knees even more, pelvis in line with your knees. Drop the left shoulder and just allow for yourself to sit into that trust, into your joyfulness of your practice, just gathering the breath and breathing straight into the space that you want to create for your nice ideas, visions, creative projects, or simply to have that joyful moment in your life right now, to extend and stretch. Drop the opposite shoulder one more time. Keep the pelvis low. Keep the arms all the way supporting. Back in your center, grab hold of your ankles pretty strongly. Use your elbows to press sideways and allow for yourself to melt. And then you again inhale, pull the low belly in. Exhale, sink yourself further down. Good, keep it up. Inhale, one more lift. Strong legs. Exhale, everything sink down into your hips. From here, all the way, straighten the legs, hand support. Inhale, exhale, drop the torso, soften. With an inhale, walk your hands toward that right leg and find your Triconasana. Maybe you have a block, maybe you take your hands onto your shin bone and lift the left arm up and towards space. Keep on reaching up, keep on rooting down, and feel the center of your body kind of rooting the low body down and allowing for the upper body to find spaciousness and just freedom to curl the heart up into its space. As you exhale, hands down onto your hip, lift yourself all the way up, turn your right toes in, left toes backward, switch. Left hand grounds down all the way onto the mat or onto your shin bone. Check that you're a little higher up rather than too low. And then allow for your heart to roll up into space and find the connection. Legs strongly rooting, grounding, trusting your balance, and the hips connecting again all the way up into your more mobile and floaty chest and spine. Take another full breath in. And with an exhale, right hand down into the hips. Lift yourself up, both toes sideways. Bend your knees, stick your bum back out. Long spine, exhale everything, ground symmetric. As you breathe in, maybe block underneath the heart. Otherwise, fingertips can do. Bend your knees. Always allow for your knees to bend in order to stay more floaty around your hips. Hand underneath, right hand. Left hand onto your low back. Make sure your low back stays pretty stable. You can also root the full palm down. Then kick into your heels and allow for your low belly space. So everything underneath your navel staying rooted and grounded. Even a bit roundish. And everything above your navel turns toward the left side. Maybe even lifting your left arm up. And with an exhale, sway that left hand on toward your right extended leg. Bow everything in toward your right leg and allow for your head to release, neck soft. Take a full breath. Wrapping yourself toward that right compressed underbelly, squeezing the organs a bit onto your upper thigh. Inhale back into your midline, left hand or left palm underneath the heart. Bend your knees again. Check your low back. Staying pretty stable, and everything above curls far in towards space. Allow for your head to almost lean back, trusting the balance from everything below your navel, and then enjoy that opening in toward the side. And as you exhale, right hand curls underneath and draw your heart line toward the left side. And again, just one deep, nice exhale out. Sometimes, right, we forget to enjoy in certain moments, even when it feels like a bit of work or a bit of reach, trying to always support with breath. Find back into your center. Walk your left foot softly and slowly next to your right leg. And then just ground yourself down into a bit of malasana variation. Maybe your feet are wider. Otherwise, bend your knees outward. Allow for yourself to sink. Some of you like just a light little bit of rooting down through the head. Again, all the way looking toward your heels, toward your navel. And again, fold all the way in. As you release your hands, take your hands to support. Maybe one hand after the other or both at the same time, and lay down all the way onto your back. Good, already feels good to just lay down, right? Okay, and from there, find an inhale all the way. Find an exhale, grounding the hands. Just rest the arms softly. And you start to drop the knees from side to side. And I know some of you maybe like to expand the arms overhead to open up. With an inhale, go slow over toward the side. And allow for your exhale to bring everything back and really ground a moment, energy around your low belly space. And again, inhale, knees to side. Exhale back into center. Maybe also closing the eyes for another round. Just enjoying that little massage in your sacrum or around your sacrum, hips, buttocks. Good, and back in your center. Root down the low back with a happy baby for a moment, grounding hands or heels toward the palm. Try to lower down the low part of your spine. If your head is a bit uncomfortable, sometimes it's nice to take a blanket underneath or just a little bit of lift. So happy baby is going to be more of a joy for your practice. Good. And from there, we start taking one bridge pose, sit to Bandhasana, feet underneath the hip, and take a moment, or underneath the knees, take a moment to lift up. Good, and the hands, arms could stay, or you take your hands underneath and you clasp your hands, supporting strongly by drawing the feet down into the earth. Good, and breathe into your underbelly. Feel a bit of floatiness around your hip space. Inhale again. Heart open, and again, any variation of your choice. A bit of creative reach or imagination, what could feel good to yourself today. And as you exhale, start to take your hands out, lower the hips down, and one more time. Feet around your hands. So happy baby, either holding the heels as you maybe did before or grabbing outer edges of your feet. Good, and if some of you like, starting to extend one foot sideways, bringing it back into center and exhaling opposite leg into its space. Good, and kind of kicking heel toward your sacrum and extending the opposite leg long. Good. It's more like a bit of extending and hugging back in towards center one more time. And as you ease back in toward your midline, settle the heels down, feet down, and find a last reach. Good. Maybe here, arms float on top of your spine. Start to lift the hips up a bit higher, maybe onto your tippy toes. Good. And all the way lengthening your sides, even moving your pelvis a bit from side to side, almost like rolling your spine. Good. And from there, all the way, kick your feet down strongly. Lower all the way down, hugging heels in or outer edges of the feet. Last time. Take a full breath in. Ground down, symmetric. Softness around your jaw. Good. And then bring the feet all the way together, the soles of your feet. And maybe lift up the head toward your knees, just if that feels good. And from there, everything roots down toward the earth. Your feet can stay connected. And then take your hands onto your pelvis, onto your hip bone, or straight into the space underneath your navel, which is said to be the active zone of your exhale. So every time you exhale out, you could just draw the awareness around that space. You can let your head rest, let the back of your spine rest. Breathe into your warm palms. Breathe along your soft spine. And just enjoy that peacefulness within your sacrum and space around your low belly. A moment of thankfulness again to the whole parts of your body, the visible, the invisible, the things that just happen so naturally along our life in our physical body, the processes, the hormones. Just a moment of thankfulness that you're guided in that way in your nature. You can stay here as long as you wish, if you feel like also covering yourself with a little blanket. Or just straightening the legs out into Shavasana. Arms can rest out toward the side, or you're keeping your warm palms on your low belly space. And as you lay here, start to relax the whole length of your spine, all the way from your head into the shoulders, into your arms and hands and fingertips, all the way from your chest, heart, down into your belly, into your pelvis, into your hips, into your upper thighs, along your knees, into your calf and shin bone, into your ankles and feet and tippy toes. Just a full body awareness. Feeling the pulsating movements, maybe just the blood along your center, along your low belly space. Creating that connection from your roots, your legs, all the way into the belly, the heart, and the head. And then hugging one knee after the other back in toward your chest, giving yourself a nice hug. all the way compressing that space again, drawing everything far in, deep in toward your own sense of joy and sensibility and sensitivity. And then roll yourself all the way up over side or center. And find a seat, closing the eyes. And again, hands can rest on your knees. Take a little stretch through your throat, head, neck. Then ground the exhale straight into your midline. Thank yourself for that moment of connecting into your sacral chakra.